Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown results and other wrestling news. Happy birthday goes to Doc Gallows, a.k.a. Drew Hankinson, turned 32 years old. Bullet Club member, was born December 22nd, 1983. He wrestled as Festus and Luke Gallows during his WWE career, as he teams with currently Carl Anderson in New Japan Pro Wrestling and at times in Ring of Honor and Global Force Wrestling. He is married to Bullet Club Bullet Babe Amber O'Neil. Mrs. a.k.a. Luis Ignacio Uribe Alverde, turned 33 years old. For those that don't know, he wrestled as Mystico early in his career and also had a run as Sin Cara in WWE. He had a disappointing run as Sin Cara in WWE. He recently made news for leaving AAA for the Lucha Libre Elite promotion. He actually now goes by the name of Caristico, which combines the Sin Cara and Mystico names. Well, he was born December 28, 1982. Dark main event for the SmackDown taping was listed as Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Kane versus Sheamus, Bray Wyatt, and Kevin Owens in a six-man tag action. Well, before Raw, there's a report that there were many Curtis Axel fans in the hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota, before the Raw tapings, and also during Raw, they were posting posters and what have you. As you can see at whereisaxel.com, they were wondering why he wasn't on Raw TV. There was a Where Is Axel search party gathering at Curran's in downtown Minneapolis before Raw, as you can see from whereisaxel.com. His fans really picking up on the campaign at the event as well on Raw. Also on Twitter at Real Curtis Axel posting, Minneapolis is searching at WWE hashtag Where Is Axel, and you can go to the link whereisaxel.com. More comments. Still searching. Search party is growing. And also, Minneapolis wants Axel. Again, go to that link, whereisaxel.com. And even at John Carson on Twitter, me too, kid. Me too. Real Curtis Axel. And he comments on the hashtag whereisaxel also, and promotes his whereisaxel.com link. Okay, it looks like Sean Studd, the son of WWE Hall of Famer Big John Studd, is starting to make more indie bookings, such as Reality of Wrestling, owned by Booker T. After coming into the business with Booker T's Reality of Wrestling promotion in Texas, Studd will make his Maryland Championship Wrestling debut on this coming Saturday at their Seasons Beatings show in Joppa, Maryland. And you can visit MarylandWrestling.com for more info. Other names appearing for that event are Ethan Carter III, Ashley Massaro, and Chyna. And here's a photo of Studd after debuting back in March for Reality of Wrestling. And also the ROW reporter on Twitter says the son of Hall of Famer makes his debut in ROW. And you can follow him at Big Sean Studd 90 on Twitter. After SmackDown, new episodes of Renee Young's WWE Network show airing tonight was Heath Slater, also Dolph Ziggler, on Unfiltered. Well, there's a sweater that Dolph Ziggler is wearing that has supporting Nikki Bella, and there was a tweet that Renee Young has on there that said, I wear the hell out of some sparkly pants. And it can be aired at 9 p.m. Central Time every week. Or after SmackDown. Well, this week's SmackDown came on Tuesday night, but it may replay again on Thursday night, regular time. Also, you can follow up on the WWE Network. There were no Superstar tapings on Monday, as I did a search for it. According to WrestlingInc.com, they still haven't posted the update that there wasn't any results because there wasn't any matches on the show. It says stay tuned for more for any results. But in a dark match, Lucha Dragons defeated the Ascension. And you can go to this link for the Raw pre-show, uploaded on YouTube by the WWE Network. Ring of Honor spoilers. Credit goes to Dave Muscarella and PW Ponderings. Pre-show, Leo Rush defeated Vinny Marseglia. And for the tapings, episode number 1, Ring of Honor TV champion Roderick Strong defeated Stevie Richards after a running knee. It was not announced as a TV championship match, though. Bobby Fish came out for a special live edition of the Fish Tank and shows pictures of Roderick Strong tapping, as Strong denied it and walked away. An ODQ match with Caprice Coleman defeating Will Ferreira when Coleman leg dropped Ferreira through a table. Jonathan Gresham defeated Cedric Alexander with Veda Scott after he turned a cocky cover into a roll-up. Michael Elgin defeated Donovan Dijak after 2 sit-out powerbombs. Lethal and Elgin faced off in the ring. Women of Honor match, Mandy Leon and Sumi Saki defeated Hania Huntress and Diana Perrazzo after moonsaults from both on Hania. Episode number 2, ANX defeated Roppongi Vice when Kenny Kong rolled up Trent. Storyline with the Kingdom was up next as Matt Taven was on crutches. Cole says Taven and Bennett dropped the ball. Out comes Red Dragon. Nigel makes a match for next week's Kingdom versus Red Dragon. Young Bucks come out next. Nigel adds them into the match too and makes it a street fight. Ring of Honor Tag Champions War Machine defeated House of Truth of Donovan Dijak and Joey Daddygo after hitting Fallout. Truth Martini says that he's starting to realize Dijak is the weak link of the House of Truth, and the House of Truth doesn't need you anymore, as Martini slaps Dijak and fires him. Dalton Castle defeated Jay Briscoe, Matt Seidel, Moose with Stokely Hathaway when he pinned Seidel. Ring of Honor returns to the 2300 arena on March the 12th. Women of Honor match, Kelly Klein defeated Veda Scott, Kimberly Taylor Hendricks when she submitted on Veda. Episode number 3, The Addiction defeated ACH and Alex Shelley when Daniels pinned ACH. After the match, The Addiction and Saban attacked Shelley. Daniels hit the referee. Nigel comes out and suspends Daniels. Mark Briscoe defeated Adam Page with Froggy Bow. BJ Whitmer and Mr. Wrestling number 3, Steve Corino, have an in-ring argument. I cannot tell a lie, but I am not Steve Corino. But I know Steve Corino. Silas Young cut a promo and says Final Battle was a disappointment. I'll let those boys sleep in my basement. Philly Street Fight, Young Bucks defeated the Kingdom of Adam Cole and Michael Bennett. And Red Dragon with help from AJ Styles. Young Bucks pinned Bennett, not before Meltzer driver to Maria though. And thus you know the Maria and Michael Bennett, who probably will no longer be with Ring of Honor. Adam Cole spinning ladder around got the ECW chant. Both Bobby Cruz and Kevin Kelly have had accidentally super kicked during this match. There were thank you Kingdom chants. Nigel come out and thank Bennett and Maria. So that was their send off for Ring of Honor. Former TNA star Magnus recently spoke with Inquisitor about a number of topics, and here's some of the topics from the interview. He almost quitting TNA years ago. I remember Vince Russo specifically saying to me, "What? You want to be the world champion or something?" And me saying, "Yeah." And he's like, "That will never happen. You're a Brit." I remember I almost quit then and there because what's the point of being there if you don't want to be champion? Comments on the James Storm and Mickey James train skit. We hated it. We all hated it. When it was pitched to us, we tried desperately to change it, to something else, but the guy in charge wasn't having anything to do with it, and we were convinced it would be great. That's just a perfect example of one of the reasons why I left. We all said that it was a bad idea, and we always gave what I thought were good alternatives, and we're basically told, do what we tell you. And then he comments on working for Global Force Wrestling. Well, advertising, the structure of JFW is completely different. It's very much to me how I always imagined a wrestling company should be. You know, it's very, very much like everyone's on the same page, everyone's treated with respect, and there's no ego when it comes to the people in charge. There's Jeff Jarrett, there's Scott D'Amore, Kevin Sullivan, and Keith Mitchell. That TV, Sanjay Dutt has a big role and wears a lot of hats in GFW. No one there is walking around like I'm the big boss. Everyone has to respect me, and if you get on the wrong side of me, you're going to pay. I'm going to bury you. There's none of that. It looks like TNA had changed their original plans regarding the conclusion of their multi-week TNA World Title Series tournament. TNA announced that the semifinals and the finals of the tournament will be airing live, which may be on a few-hour tape delay. Well, when the promotion debuts on Pop TV on January 5th, well, an update on that as well. There's supposed to be a special airing on Pop TV this week, as well as the New Year's Eve special. So, and on the TV, they've already got it down to the final, the semifinals, and what have you. And last week was just a recap. Whatever the new direction, it remains to be seen. However, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that the original plans for the conclusion of the tournament have been changed. Obviously, everybody knows the spoilers that Bobby Lashley won the championship. So, card subjects changed and TV subjects changed with the new network, whichever they want to be. And that concludes that part. Jeff Hardy is in need of another knee surgery. And one that could keep him out of action until late in 2016. The exact timetable for his return won't be clear until after he undergoes the operation. And Matt Hardy will update that as well later this week. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Hardy had told fans that he will have to finally tone down his in-ring style and won't be able to wrestle the same style that he once worked in the past. Both Jeff and Matt Hardy's deals with TNA are set to expire at some point in the next 10 to 12 months. Bully Ray and Velvet Sky took to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I found probably an old video. I've seen at this link. In the clip, Bully Ray convinced Velvet Sky to take off her sweatshirt for the challenge. Sky later challenged Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley, and Bully, who later accepted and later received a stunner from Sky. It's one of the better ALS challenges video so far, and you can watch it at the link that I just showed you before. Also, in the ALS challenge, Jeff Hardy and Wife challenge in this league. During the mailbag segment of the installment of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer was asked about the status of Natalya and why she was not being used as a regular on TV. Meltzer said that she is not injured, and the reason she hasn't appeared on WWE TV is because the company doesn't have a spot for her. Dave would go on to explain how the company's main focus are on the 3 teams that are featured on TV weekly. At one point, there was talk of actually putting her on one of those teams, but didn't happen. Darren Young posted on Twitter a pic of his quad injury, but from the picture there for you, it doesn't show anything of an injury. It just shows his from his shoulders down. I noted a few weeks back that he visited a local hospital after Raw, and he posted the following on Twitter, indicating that he may have suffered a quad injury. With injuries, your approach to the game changes only for the better. Quad size will come back. #work. And at ACL Recovery Club. Also, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Mark Wahlberg are being sued allegedly for stealing the idea for their show Ballers on HBO. Former WWE World Champion is an executive producer on the show with Wahlberg. And here's a Baller trailer. If you haven't seen any of it, it gives you a brief part of what it's all about. As the lawsuit was filed in federal court by Everett Silas and Sherry Little Leon, saying that they had the idea for a project called Off Season back in 2007. According to TMZ, they claimed in 2009 they almost had a deal with Wahlberg, Johnson, and their manager to develop the product, but it fell apart. They say the reason it fell apart is because Silas and Littleton wanted to be credited as show creators. Silas and Littleton listed several similarities between Off-Season and Ballers, including the plot and location. They also say the title Ballers is ripped from one of their proposed episode titles. The lawsuit is seeking unspecified damages. A rep for HBO told TMZ the case has no merit. Well, Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose was injured on Raw during his steel cage match event against Sheamus. Ambrose emerged victorious but did not walk away unscathed. He suffered a laceration on the back of his head that required 6 staples to close. And if you go to YouTube, link on that. I think I've got the picture for it. And Ambrose will be back in action for the SmackDown, as you will see in the results. Or actually see it on TV already. He'll defend the IC title against Dolph Ziggler and the man he captured the gold from earlier this month, Kevin Owens. WWE's website posted a photo of Tom Phillips with a black eye due to the slap that he received at the end of Raw from Stephanie McMahon, just slapping the heck out of him from Monday night. They're also doing a storyline where Phillips refused to come to the Super SmackDown tapings, and I'll show you a photo on that as well. Following the incident on Monday night, Raw, and one of the principal owners of WWE, Stephanie McMahon, struck announcer Tom Phillips. WWE.com has learned that the broadcaster would not be present at the Super SmackDown live on USA Network. Phillips departed Minneapolis for his home this morning, while he did allow WWE.com to take a picture of his face before taking his leave. Clearly showing the effects from the incident, he refused to comment on the situation at this time. The $1 Billion Princess viciously slapped Phillips to the floor Monday night after he asked her for a reaction to the flagship show, Steel Cage Main Event. She was upset over Sheamus and the League of Nations' failure to get to her payback on Roman Reigns for his recent attacks on both WWE COO Triple H and the chairman of the board, Mr. McMahon. John Cena will return to co-host NBC's Today Show on Monday, December 28th. Tuesday, December 29th. For next week, Zack Ryder continues to tease his WWE NXT tag team with Mojo Rawley, called the Hype Brothers. Coming to the main roster, he tweeted the following after WWE Tag Team Champions The New Day defeated the Lucha Dragons on Super SmackDown Tuesday night. As Zack Ryder on Twitter says, hashtag Lucha Dragons versus hashtag New Day was a fun match to watch on hashtag SmackDown. Hope they know that they're online for the hashtag Hype Rider at Mojo Rawley WWE. John Cena returns to Raw next week, as advertised from this past Raw. And also, January 9th, a rematch for the U.S. Championship against Alberto Del Rio. WWE taped the following matches from Des Moines, Iowa for this week's main event episode. This is Goldust's second week in a row wrestling on the main event. That's Goldust versus Tyler Breeze, Bo Dallas versus Fandango, Jack Swagger versus The Miz. Probably your main event. From PW Mania, posted the results. Goldust versus Tyler Breeze was up first. Breeze gets the win after a distraction from Summer Rae. Bo Dallas defeated Fandango. Jack Swagger defeated The Miz by a submission. And the second report, thanks to J.V. Smith and Stephen Anthony for the following spoilers from Des Moines, Iowa for main event. Goldust versus Tyler Breeze. Breeze got the win after distraction from Summer Rae. Bo Dallas defeated Fandango. And Jack Swagger defeated The Miz by submission. Dark match before the main event tapings and saw Zack Ryder defeat Heath Slater. Super SmackDown results from Des Moines, Iowa. And your announcers are Rich Brennan, Booker T, and Jerry the King Lawler. Before the first match, New Day had something to say, and they made their way to the ring. Big E says they may not have won a Slammy for the Tag Team of the Year, even though they deserve the Slammy more than any tag team on the roster or any tag team in history. This will not ruin their holiday. Well, I am going to the dirt sheets with this whole show. Whenever I got home to see SmackDown, it wasn't even recording because it was on USA Network and not Sci-Fi. So I get to see the last hour of it because I was at my company Christmas party. Thanks to James who gave me a Christmas present. Got me a pair of orange work gloves and a work knife. Well, back to the report. Xavier said today we'll give WWE Universe greatest present of all. That is the gift of wrapping up these lucha booties and sending them home with all kinds of coal in their stockings while their WWE Tag Team Championships stay home for the holidays. Kofi says first that they want to promote their upcoming Christmas album. Xavier said it includes such Christmas classics as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Unicorn, Little Trombone Boy, Big E's Coming to Town, and we wish you a booty Christmas and a happy new day. Match number 1 is Kofi Kingston and Big E with Xavier Woods versus Kalisto and Sin Cara for the tag team titles. Kofi and Sin Cara start things off as they lock up. Kofi with a side headlock and a shoulder tackle. Kofi had something to say to Sin Cara, but Cara gets up and hits a drop kick. And then Sin Cara with a wrist lock, and then he puts Kofi in the ropes, and he chokes Kofi. Sin Cara came back with a kick, and Kalisto tags in. Sin Cara with a Finley slam, and then Kalisto gets monkey flipped into a splash for a near fall. Kalisto with an armbar. Big E tags in, and Big E pie faces Kalisto, and he has something to say to Kalisto. Kalisto pie faces Big E back, and Big E catches Kalisto and stops a crucifix attempt. And then Kalisto with a drop kick, and Sin Cara tags in and hits a missile drop kick. Kofi tags back in, and Sin Cara with a short arm clothesline. Cara punches Kofi and sends him into the turnbuckles. Woods had something to say to Cara, but Cara ignores Woods and chops Kofi. Kalisto tags in and Cara with a snapmare, and Cara elevates Kalisto for a back senton. As he gets a near fall, Kalisto has Kofi fall over him, and Sin Cara with a slingshot senton onto Kofi. As Cara with an Irish whip, but he runs into an elbow from Kofi. Kofi goes to the turnbuckles for a Hurricane Rana, but Cara holds on and rolls through for a near fall. Kofi with a drop kick and sends Sin Cara to the floor. Woods then distracts Cara and Kofi with a baseball slide as we go to commercial with horns up, the unicorns. We are back, and Big E tags in, and he claps for Kalisto. Big E gets a Warrior Splash attempt, but Cara rolls out of the way. Kofi tags in and so does Kalisto, and Kalisto with a springboard seated splash. Kalisto with kicks and a springboard corkscrew crossbody. Kalisto took care of Big E on the apron and then kicked Kofi off kicks Kofi. As Wood pulls the ropes, and Kalisto goes to the floor when he tries to go off the ropes. Big E then tags in and grabs Kalisto and runs him into the ringside barrier. Big E sends Kalisto back into the corner and kicks Kalisto. Woods has a present with his trombone as Kofi tags in and kicks Kalisto. Big E tags in and does some more kicking. Kofi tags in and continues to kick. Big E tags in and kicks Kalisto. And Kofi tags in, and Big E Irish whips Kofi into the corner for a drop kick. And this time, for Big E to dance while Woods playing along. Kofi with a running knee, and he gets a near fall. Kofi with a wrist lock into a quarter Nelson and a chin lock. Kofi with a kick and an Irish whip. Kofi punches Kalisto in the corner, and Big E chokes Kalisto while the referee is out of position. Big E tags in as does Kalisto. Big E taunts Sin Cara, and he claps. Big E with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex, and Kalisto lands on his feet as he tags in Sin Cara. Sin Cara with a springboard move, and then hits two Cabranas, but Kofi breaks up the cover. Sin Cara sends Kofi to the floor, and Big E goes to the floor as well. Cara and Kalisto with stereo suicide dives on everyone, and everyone is down on the floor. Sin Cara looks like he is out of it, but Kalisto sends Big E back into the ring. Kalisto with a springboard crossbody, and Woods distracts the referee. Kalisto then gets attacked by Big E, and Sin Cara with an enziguri, and Kalisto with a Salida del Sol. Sin Cara knocks Woods off the apron. Big E catches Sin Cara on a Cabrado attempt, and Big E hits the Big Indy for the 3 count. And we see Santino Marella holding a Christmas party, and he brings out the Cobra to put the star on the top of the tree. But after that, we see a gloved hand take off the star and exit, probably because it was Stardust. It's time for some Christmas wishes from the WWE Superstars as we go to commercial. We're back, and Renee Young is out with Dean Ambrose in the interview area. Renee asked Dean about having to defend in a Continental title match after last night's cage match. Dean says he's got 6 stables last night. He mentions the battles with Kevin Owens over the last few weeks. He says he is going to burst Kevin Owens' head like a tomato. He will be bouncing off the ropes and throwing hands and knees at Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler until the dust clears and remains the IC champion. He knows that Kevin has been throwing tantrums and Dolph wants to be the champion again, but it won't happen. It's not a metaphor. That's a fact. Wyatt family makes their way to the ring. Match number 2. Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan versus Bobby Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Ryback, and Kane. Rowan and Ryback start things off as Rowan with punches and kicks. Ryback with a crossbody and a wrist lock. Devon tags in and he punches Rowan. Bubba tags in and they hit a double shoulder tackle. We go to commercial. Back for the break. Bubba fights out of the corner, but Harper takes Bubba down and connects with an elbow drop. Harper with a reverse chin lock. Bubba with the punches and an Irish whip, followed by clotheslines. Bubba with a back body drop to Harper, and he works on the arm, but Harper tags in Strowman. Braun says he wants Kane, not Bubba. Bubba obliges that Kane is tagged in. They lock up, and Kane with boots to Strowman, and Kane with punches. Strowman with an Irish whip, but he misses a splash into the corner. Kane with spikes in the corner. Harper runs into a boot from Kane, and that distraction allows Strowman to take Kane down with a body block. Wyatt tags in and kicks Kane and then connects with an uppercut. Wyatt with kicks and he tags in Harper. And Wyatt Irish whips Harper into the corner for an elbow. Kane with an uppercut, but Harper with an uppercut. And shots to Kane's torso. Harper with a gator roll into a side headlock. Kane with a DDT and both men are down. Ryback tags in and connects with a shoulder tackle and a flying shoulder tackle. Ryback with a clothesline into the corner, and then Ryback misses a missile drop kick. Ryback with a clothesline, and he gets Harper on the shoulders, but Rowan grabs Harper. Harper with a Michinoku driver for a near fall. Wyatt tags in and hits a back senton. We go to another commercial. Back from the break. Harper with a reverse chinlock on Ryback. Ryback punches, but Harper with a forearm of his own. Rowan tags in and connects with a forearm to the back. Rowan nails gets in a reverse chin lock, and then he goes for a double atomic noogie. Rowan knocks Kane off the apron, but Rowan runs at Ryback, and Ryback with a spine buster, and both men are down. Devon and Wyatt tag in, and Devon with a clothesline and flying shoulder tackles. Devon with a flapjack, and he takes care of the family members on the apron. Devon with a flying shoulder tackle, followed by a diving headbutt. But Strowman breaks up the cover. Kane punches Strowman, and Kane pushes Strowman over the top rope onto the floor. Strowman sends Devon into the ring post. Rowan with a running shoulder tackle. to knock Ryback over the ringside barrier into the crowd. Bubba and Devon with a neck breaker and a belly to back suplex combination for a near fall of Wyatt. Devon goes up for the headbutt, but Strowman catches Devon and Harper with a big boot. Wyatt with Sister Abigail for the 3 count. Adam Rose and Damian Sandow are looking at the tree. Tyler Breeze and Summer Rae are not impressed, so they leave. Rose and Sandow leave as well. Santino returns and he wants to know what happened to his decorations. Stardust arrives and he says that Santino's party is a bust. Victor tells Santino that Christmas has come to the wasteland. Neville arrives and he reminds everyone it is Christmas. He says you don't mess with a man's decorations on Christmas. Connor asks what elf army will help him. Titus O'Neil enters and he says that Neville has a point. You bring back Christmas or he puts a boot down your chimney. Stardust says Christmas is canceled and if you want it back, you have to beat the Ascension. As we go to commercial, match number 3, Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso versus Alberto Del Rio and Rusev with Sheamus and Wade Barrett. And I have not got back at this point yet. Jimmy and Rusev start things off as they lock up. Rusev pushes Jimmy in. Jimmy pushes back. Rusev punches and kicks in the corner. Jimmy slides into the corner and he connects with a punch and a chop. Jimmy with an uppercut and a chop. Jey tags in and as he hits a running forearm into the corner. Jey with a snapmare for a near fall. Rusev with a punch and Del Rio tags in and he kicks Jey in the back. Del Rio with a snapmare and a drop kick for a near fall. Rusev tags back in and he kicks Jey. Rusev punches Jey and then tags in Del Rio. Del Rio with a double sledge off the turnbuckles and knocks Jimmy off the apron. Del Rio kicks Jey and Rusev tags back in. Rusev chokes Jey. Jey with a kick and Jimmy tags in as they double flapjack for a near fall. Jimmy nails some chops. Rusev catches Jimmy on a crossbody attempt. And Jimmy escapes and he drop kicks Rusev to the floor. Del Rio tries to interfere, but he goes through the ropes to the floor. Jey with a plancha onto Del Rio and then Jimmy with a plancha onto Rusev. Jimmy goes up top and Del Rio stops him. Rusev sends Jimmy and Jey to the floor as we go to commercial. Back from the commercial and Rusev with a nerve hold on Jimmy. Jimmy with a kick. Jimmy has a kick blocked and then Jimmy with a dragon whip. Jey tags in as does Del Rio. Jey with a jumping clothesline followed by a back heel kick and an uppercut. Jey nails a Samoan drop and it's time for the running butt smash. As he connects, but he can only get a near fall. Jimmy takes care of Rusev, but Rusev sends Jimmy into the ring steps. Del Rio drops Jey on the top rope, and Del Rio goes up top. Jey goes up too, and Del Rio blocks a superplex, and Del Rio with a headbutt as Jey is in the turnbuckles. Jey grabs Del Rio by the hair, and Barrett distracts the referee. Rusev kicks Jey and Del Rio with a double stop for the 3 count. Well, when there's a match, Rusev Alberto Del Rio. After the match, Jimmy is brought into the ring, and they hold Jimmy with the U.S. title belt over Jimmy's head. Reigns pulls Sheamus out of the ring as he comes in and sends him over to the announcer table. Roman then sends Alberto into the announcer table and hits a Superman punch on Del Rio. And then hits one on Rusev after Jey hits Rusev with a super kick to stagger him. And it's time for more holiday wishes from WWE Superstars as we go to commercial. Match number 4. Victor and Connor with Stardust versus Titus O'Neil and Neville with Santino. As he's not in wrestling gear, he's in street clothes with his Christmas sweater. Neville and Connor start things off, and Neville with a headlock followed by kicks to Connor. Neville floats over and Neville flips across the ring and hits a springboard crossbody. Connor with a forearm. With Stardust distracts Neville on the apron. Victor tags in and chops Neville. Follows up with a Canadian lifters. Victor gets a jumping knee strike after Connor tags in and gets a near fall. Connor with a backbreaker to Neville on the shoulder, but Neville gets to her feet. Connor misses a splash into the corner. Victor tags in and misses an elbow drop. Titus tags in and connects with a clothesline and the shoulder to Connor and Victor. Connor is then sent to the floor. Victor gets boots up for Titus, and then he knocks Neville off the apron. Santino is surrounded, and Santino gets the Cobra, but instead of putting it on, he wipes his brow. And I think I came in for that segment myself and seen that. Then I hit the record button, so I get to watch the rest in full. Neville with a corkscrew punch onto Stardust and the Ascension. Titus nails a shoulder tackle, and then Neville tags in, hits a red arrow for the 3 count. Renee Young. Interview area with Dolph Ziggler. Renee asks Dolph about his match tonight. Dolph says he has been going about this all wrong. He has a match with Dean Ambrose, and Kevin Owens gets involved. He has a match against Kevin Owens, and Dean Ambrose gets involved. Intercontinental title means a lot because it was the first title he won. If he wins tonight, it will mean a lot for 2016. He is going to win tonight as we go to commercial. We're back, and we get Becky Lynch at the announcer table for the next match, which is number 5, Charlotte versus Brie Bella, and a non-title action. Charlotte avoids Brie and struts. They lock up, and Charlotte backs Brie into the corner and gives a clean break. Charlotte puts Brie in the ropes, hits a neck breaker. Charlotte gets a near fall. Charlotte with knee drops, and she gets a near fall. Charlotte with a cravat kick and connects with a knees to Brie's head. Brie punches Charlotte, but Charlotte sends Brie to the mat. Charlotte misses the Flair-style knee drop. Brie with forearms and follows up with clotheslines and a drop kick. Brie with a Brie mode running knee. Brie with a missile drop kick, and Brie follows with kicks to the chest. Brie misses a round kick, Charlotte with a spear. Sasha makes music plays, and she makes her way to the ring with Tamina and Naomi. Naomi spills a drink on Becky, and Becky takes Naomi down, and Sasha and Tamina join in while Charlotte looks at what is happening to her friend, and Charlotte with a bridging figure 4, which is figure 8, and Brie taps out. After the match, Charlotte goes to the floor to check on Becky, and she laughs at what happened to Becky, which I found out the drink was eggnog. Renee is because I found out on Twitter that they did that. Basically, well, that was about it. Renee is back with Kevin Owens, and Kevin says the title is his. Just like the Breakout Star Slammy that Neville has, Kevin says he was the Breakout Star for 2015. Dean Ambrose might be walking around with an IC title, but he is the real champion, and he will get back what is his. Renee mentions that Dolph Ziggler is in the match too. Kevin reminds Renee about what he has done to Dolph in the last week. Kevin says he is turning SmackDown into Kevin Owens' show, and he is walking out Intercontinental Champion. Kevin says that Renee looks ridiculous before leaving. Match number 6, Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens in an Intercontinental title match. Well, I took me a break after the last melee to walk my dog during this match. So I missed this entirely too. Well, Ziggler nails a drop kick to start off on Owens as Ambrose clotheslines Kevin over the top rope. Ziggler with a side headlock and a shoulder tackle after punches. Owens pulls Ziggler to the floor and connects with a forearm. And then Owens goes for the powerbomb on the apron, but Ambrose nails a suicide dive on that. Ambrose with a suicide dive. Ziggler Irish with Ambrose, and Ambrose rolls to the apron and connects with clotheslines on both men as both men are down. Owens nails a back senton onto both men as we go to commercial. Back from the break, and Owens with a forearm to Ambrose. Ambrose holds the ropes, and he drops Owens, and Owens goes over the top rope to the floor. Ziggler nails a clothesline, and him and Ambrose go over the top rope to the floor. Owens and Ziggler go up the ramp and exchange their forearms, and Ambrose joins them. Owens then gets ready to throw Ziggler into the presence that are all around the ramp, and he goes down. Owens throws a few presents at Ambrose and Ziggler. Owens throws a tree branch at Ambrose, and then he kicks a gift into Ziggler. Owens sets up a powerbomb off the stage, but Ziggler with a super kick, and Owens is thrown off the stage by Ambrose and Ziggler. Ambrose and Ziggler exchange punches, and Ambrose throws a box at Ziggler. Ziggler takes Ambrose to the ring and then sends Ambrose into the ring steps. Ziggler rolls Ambrose into the ring, and Ziggler with a stinger splash, but Ambrose with a front driver out of an atomic drop set up for a near fall. Ambrose goes up top, but Ziggler stomps Ambrose and sets up for the superplex. Owens gets Ziggler on the shoulders, and Ziggler gets to his feet and hits a super kick on Ambrose. Owens with a super kick to Ziggler. Ambrose bounces off the ropes and hits a clothesline to Owens. Owens rolls to the floor, and Ziggler runs into a boot. Ambrose goes up top. Ziggler with a super X Factor, but Owens breaks up the cover. Owens sends Ziggler into the ring steps, and Owens sends Ziggler into the ring steps, and he gets a near fall on Ambrose. Owens argues with the referee about the 3 count. Owens with a short arm clothesline on Ambrose. Ziggler with a sleeper on Owens, but Owens backs Ziggler into the corner a few times, but Ziggler holds on. Owens with a back senton on Ambrose, while Ziggler still has a sleeper applied. Owens sends Ziggler shoulder first into the ring post, and Ziggler falls to the floor. Owens with a Saito head and arm suplex for a near fall. Referee checks on Ambrose, and Owens picks up Ambrose, but the referee stops Owens. While the referee is checking on Ambrose, Owens with a fall-away slam to Ziggler that sends him into the ringside barrier. Owens punches Ambrose in the head. Owens says it is his title, and he continues to punch Ambrose. Ambrose counters and slaps Owens, and Owens punches Ambrose and kicks him. Ambrose with an elbow, and then Owens with a punch. Ambrose bounces off the ropes, and he sets up for a double underhook DDT, but but Ziggler with a zigzag to Ambrose, and everyone is down. Ziggler covers Ambrose and gets a near fall. Owens rolls to the apron, and Ziggler gets to his feet. First, Ziggler sets up for the super kick, but Ambrose blocks it. Ziggler tries for an O'Connor roll. Ziggler with a super kick to Owens, and Ambrose with a double underhook DDT to Ziggler for the 3 count to end SmackDown. After SmackDown went off the air, dark segment after SmackDown saw the League of Nations beat down the Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose in the ring. World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns came down for the save to a big pop and cleared the ring, hitting a Superman punch on the heels. Ambrose and Reigns stood tall to send the crowd home happy. And that concludes my SmackDown results for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See what I want to be. And if you don't know, just call me brothers and sisters. Oh, my brother, testify.